Hello, soul family of Together Divines. So, how was your Navratra season this year? Hope you had a good one. Some of us joined together for collective sadhana meditation, and it was a very fruitful one. We'll try to share the feedbacks post the sadhana session. Some of the written feedbacks we have already shared on the community posts, and some of the recorded discussions we might share in future. It depends, because mostly we see that people, those who are very much interested anything about the meditation or healing, they do take interest in such sessions. But those who are just on a namesake of being called themselves spiritual, or just on a namesake of wanting healing, they will most likely skip such opportunity to receive healing, learn meditations, do the sadhana collectively. And it's not that they will skip to learn from us, but they will skip to do in their real life also, right? So even if they don't join a decorated classroom, they will not invest those time and those effort at their home alone, still they won't do. So those people are completely useless in this journey. And as a twin flame, it is they are the big black spots, who do not take any initiative to learn any kind of meditations, or do not themselves invest in isolation to engage themselves in such, especially the DFs. For the DMs we can understand if you are the masculine dominant, but for the DFs, not investing in such things with under the guidance of someone or without the guidance of someone is a big black spot. That's the reason why we always ask, if you come forward to call yourself as a DF, then do bring your ID card, and that is your what sole purpose you are doing, right? Else, what's the fun in calling yourself a divine feminine? It's of no use. Okay, so today I bring to you the energy reading of the moment, and the energy reading of what's going on right now. So this entire recently the portal of 1010 also happened, and there's a lot of things that is going on with the collective twin flames. Okay, and now if we see the entire Navratri season, there has been a lot of things that was going on in the background. And if you see it as a collectively split the twin flames into two groups, we can see that largely the entire Navratra season, the divine feminines have enjoyed the entire Navratra season, which is like the past 8 to 10 days, whereas the masculines had to go through a lot, and there were a lot of ups and downs, emotional and mental turbulence with the lives of DMs, which we'll be explaining in today's video right now. So there's a lot of tension that has gone between the DMs and the third party. And if you see we had posted recently in the Instagram post also that it is a season of the karmics ending. Okay, the 1010 portal brings in a lot of energy to end the karmic cycles, and that is what is brought in the lot of shuffling in the lives of the divine masculines also, because they are dealing with the karmics. If you see with the collective divine feminines, the divine feminines collective has mostly settled down with their karmics accounts to the at a stretch to the max by year 2023 itself. Beyond 2023, any kind of karmic account settlement, if you are in a twin flame journey, is left now for the DM. So the further coming year, especially the 2024, was for the karmics, and it is exactly that what has happened. So collectively on the 1010 portal, It started from the new moon itself. I suppose we had posted a new moon energy reading also, but on the 1010 portal, the universe has literally taken the situation in its control and tried to give some clarity or the insight to the collective divine masculines to understand the this bond with or to give them some clarity regarding the real intentions or the real face of the karmics and the situations that they are locked into right now, and considering or valuing those relationships over the divine feminines. So the entire Navratri season, which has just passed recently, there has been that the DMs has been drifting away from the karmics, and it might be as the blessings of the divine holy mother also, which shines on the divine feminines, and the divine masculines are now awakening onto this their true soul purpose or the true soul connection which they have in their life. And we can see that in the past, somehow the divine masculines got lured into the karmics, might be seeing their money, their wealth, or their materialistic desires. But as the twin flames collective are spiritual beings, they are the beings of light, so the wealth or the money or the materialistic desires, even if they have, as a nature of their upbringing, their family, and their belief system, but that will not fetch them the happiness. The sooner the divine masculines understands this, the better for them in a holistic approach also. It's better for them, so that they understand this entire journey is of a spiritual being. This entire journey is about the higher dimensions and the pure energy of the divine energy that you bring into your life, and it's not about the materialistic desires. Now the divine masculines who are after the karmics see them as a good financial support or a good providing them with the luxury lifestyle in the future, or because of their outer beauty and skin. So their intentions are very shallow, their intentions are very much selfish and materialistic in nature, which the universe does not appreciate and the universe does not allow. Now if you try to link your materialistic desires and goals and link it with your emotional side and give you try to give a texture of it being a spiritual or a twin flame connection, it won't happen like that. Your twin flame connection can only happen with the divine feminines, and divine feminines will never try to impress you with their wealth or with their skins or with their outlooks or anything like that. Divine feminines are only radiating unconditional love and the true essence of being a spiritual person. The healing energy what the divine masculines actually are receiving from the divine feminines, which they will never in their entire fucking life receive from the karmics, right? With the karmics they can be attracted, they can feel the soul connection or the attraction or the vibes, because somewhere they see on the 3D materialistic plane, if they fulfill their checklist of being an idealistic partner or a desired partner and a good competition among their friend circles or the other peer groups, where they are presentable and very attractive to showcase in front of people like that. But the exact peace that the soul craves, the exact connection that the soul craves, is only with the divine feminines and not with the divine masculines, right? So DMs have always wanted to have the love of their life, the entire life they have waited for the true soul connection, and it has never been in the lives of the divine masculines that they have been thorough with any kind of relationships they had in the past. They always end up those relationships, or they always happen to sabotage those relationships somewhere by their own foolish acts or somewhere out of their own immature behavior, and that is exactly what they tried to do with the divine feminines also. When they met them or when they happened to interact with them, they did repeat the same pattern that they were already habituated in doing with the other people or in their past relationships. So in a way, somewhere their soul craves for the true love and they have waited for a true soul connection. But when the universe introduced their own true divine feminine in their life, then firstly they did not recognize the divine feminine at all, right? And not only they did not recognize the divine feminine, but they ran back to the karmics, considering them as their real twin flame. And At that moment, the divine masculines gave a tower moment to the DFs, and the DFs cried a lot. They felt shattered. They was left alone. Why? Because all the time the divine feminines were thinking that why did it happen to them? Why they deserved such a behavior, such a treatment from the DMs. Why did they all of a sudden try to shut down the conversation, or try to give the silent treatment or run away from them, wherein all that the DFs were radiating or giving in this connection was only pure love, and they always had true intentions for the divine masculines. But the divine masculines have always holded on to their own emotions. They are not shown to their DF. They have never, in fact, rather understood what kind of emotions they have from the bottom of their heart for the DFs. And they did not reciprocate, in fact, the kind of the care that the DFs showed in this connection to the divine masculine, the kind of attention they gave, the kind of whatever you could do as a divine feminines in this connection for your masculines. You try to do, you try to protect them, you try to keep them safe, you're bothered about their safety, you're bothered about their well-being, and you always had good intentions and kindness towards the DMs. But in a way, the DMs were not reciprocating the same energy. They were trying to use the DFs in whatever way they could, some emotional flirtations, some might be like kind of any kind of exchange of some sort of thing that they were getting benefited from the DFs, while the DFs were only pouring in true love, right? Because somewhere it's with the DFs that they do understand that this is a soul connection long before even the universe reveals this connection or gives them proof regarding the collection this connection to the DFs. The DFs do understand right from the day one of the interaction that somewhere this connection is different, somewhere this connection is very unique. It's not that the divine masculines do not understand this. The DMs also understand it as a very unique connection, but what they do is completely opposite from what they understand. Deep within, they do understand that it's a soul connection. It's very different from the other people that they met in their life. But what they happen to do is that they just try to take the risk of running away from this connection and compare this connection with the other connection in the past, and repeat the same old patterns which they have been doing with the other people in their life, by not prioritizing the bond, or acting childish, acting immature in the connection, right? So the energetic balance between what the DFs are giving and what the DMs are reciprocating does not align into the same plane, and that's where everything gets very different for the universe to see it as, because the universe sees it as a complete imbalance of energy exchange, right? One is pouring in the complete genuine love, and the other is only trying to benefit it from it, or using it as a time pass, temporary shallow connection. And on their mind, it is that they are they feel that they will finally use this connection as for a time pass without giving any commitment or that such, and they will enjoy the flavor of it, and still they will have a long-term planning with the karmics, right? So it doesn't go like that, because the universe is always there, the divine is always there to guide, protect, and give justice to the DFs. So that is what has happened in the Stanton portal recently, where the universe stepped inside and decided to balance the equation all for the collective divine feminines, and try to bring in justice to the divine feminines. How? By showing the true power equation between the DMs and the karmics, which the DMs always might have noticed in the past also, but this season it has completely shown them. The universe has shown to the divine masculines what kind of the bond that they actually share with the karmics, and do they actually want to decide their future with the karmics, and forget the DFs. Is it what they want exactly? The universe has shown them, and the DMs also eventually try to part ways with the karmics meanwhile in this process. But between this connection, it is not that the DMs are dealing with the DFs, that the DFs will silently step aside. They are dealing with the karmics. Now the karmics will won't step away so easily, and what the divine saw is that, despite the DFs are giving unconditional love to the DMs, and still the DMs are, disrespecting the DF and their emotions and their feelings, and rather giving them silent treatment, gaslighting them, and whatever things that should not be done, when someone is so kind and so honest towards you. So the universe decided to step in and balance the equation by giving the divine masculines a hard lesson. And now the collective divine masculines current energy is that they are completely alone, isolated, and without any support, especially the emotional or the mental support that they need. It might be that they had trusted few friends, or considered someone as a backup option that they would lean back onto them whenever some crisis hits their life. But at this point of now, to tell their part of the agony, even those people are not available in their life. So they had, themselves, the divine masculines collectively themselves had decided not to accept the kindness and the genuine love of the DF, and rather prioritize the karmic bond. In case some of them even thought the karmic bond is the real twin flame connection. So now somehow the DMs are decided to step away from this connection, and they tried from their karmic connection, right? But when they decided to step outside from the karmic connection, the karmic has been using all their tactics here and there, right and left. They might have sent them repeated multiple messages, repeated phone calls, and irritated them literally, because it's not like I told just right now, it's not like you are dealing with the DFs, that both the DFs and the DMs are very much highly having the self-respect and self-worth, and somewhere they won't be be executing such habits of repeated phone calls. If you are dealing with the karmics and you don't respond, they will call you 40, 50, 100 times. They will keep on sending you messages, they will keep on bad mouthing you, somewhere in your status or stories, wherever you can read, they will do that, and they will bad foul mouth also. But also parallelly, they will try to lure you by sending you free gifts or chocolates, or trying to attract you with very buttery words. But that is only as a trap. What the karmics do is that after you are trapped, after you come back in their life, then again they'll find a sweet spot and again kick you. And it's the same strategy what the karmics applies on the DMs try to apply it on the DFs. The only thing is that with the DFs, the universe won't allow it to happen, especially the awakened DFs. You cannot use or misuse them the way the DMs think it's so easy to do it. But with the karmics, when the karmics apply it to the DMs will have no protection, right? Because they are dealing with the karmics, means they are not in the protection of the energy of the divine feminines. And when they are alone without the energy of the divine feminines, all they have to do is that they have to got to deal with the shit in their life. And it's really really tough part on the lives of the DMs, and that is exactly what is happening right now. Okay, the phases of multiple phone calls or repeated messages might has happened in the lives of the DVMs around the same time, somewhere last week, when we had posted on the community sections also to please get rid of the karmic connection. At that point of time, we were having the sadhana and did not have that much of time to create a video or something like that dedicatedly on this subject as an energy reading. So we had posted in the community section, right? Any kind of a karmic connection which you feel, or which they someone is behaving in such a manner by repeated messages, repeated phone calls, or or executing toxic behavior, then remove such person immediately, right, from your in your life, from your social media account, wherever, because somewhere it was the same point of time where I myself had bumped onto someone from Siberia. She was a model and identified herself as a divine feminine also, and we allowed her to let in inside our Instagram group as well, although it's private. But what she did was that she started sending unwanted repeated messages, and comparing herself with the other people, and literally notorious stuff. And she filled my inboxes with lots of messages, useless messages rather, and we had to compulsorily remove her. So that was the time when we had also advised you guys to not to entertain any kind of the karmic connections in your life, and to remove them completely for your peace of mind. Now what happened is that some of the DFs did consider our advice seriously, and they did remove such people from the social media account or their life, or did not respond to them. But the DMs, if some DMs even they happen to listen to us mostly might be the female DMs. Why? Because the larger group of the audience are females only, right? More than 95% of the audience are female. So the female DMs who think they are the DFs, they did not remove the karmic connections in their life, and it is because of their same decision which we said to remove, but they did not remove. The karmics keep on kept on with all the tactics and repeated phone calls, messages, and irritated them. They have literally taken away their peace of mind at this point of time, right? Through all their actions, whatever they could do to have that in their life. Now the karmics do not ever have good intentions for you, but their outer personality and all the fake show-offs will make you believe that they do have a good connection with you, right? So unless and until you are awakened to the higher self, you will not be able to recognize that who is executing a false impression to lure you into the connection, and who is exactly having true genuine intentions for you, right? You will try to you might misread the true as false and false as true. So that has happened with the divine masculines. They have completely not been able to read the true intentions of the karmics, and they did not follow our guidance also, and that's the reason why they are in trouble at right now. Okay, so considering this habit of removing the karmics from their life, I have seen some of the divine masculines who are already broken their connection to the karmics, but even after they have broken their connection to the karmics, it has been around 10 years, but they don't remove the karmics from the social media handle. Why? Because they're somehow deeply interested to know about what is going in the life of the karmics, although they are not in kind of a relationship or as such. The karmic is with someone else. The DM might be alone or whatsoever be the situation, but the DMs do not easily remove the people from their life. The DF will do, but the DMs are somehow wanting to stay in touch with the karmics, wanting to try to know that whom they have married, what is going in their life. And this is the worst part of being in the DM energy. They don't take divine guidance and suggestions by anyone, and even after splitting away, parting away ways from the karmics, they will still keep on try to continue the connection without without even being in a relation. They are still interested to understand what is happening in the lives of the karmics. Now it's really strange. DMs don't behave like that, but DMs have this heck of it. We can't do anything about it. So now that the DMs are seeing the true colors of the karmics and realizing that it was a fake connection which they could not see earlier, and now they regretted why it took them so long to understand the drama or the fake emotions of the karmics, and why the karmics were again running after some other karmics or some other third, fourth, fifth, sixth person. I don't know. It's a completely completely mix of multiple people. The DMs running after the karmics and the karmics running after some other interest. So it is a lot of hodgepodge going on there. But now the DM sees what are the true colors of the karmics, and somehow their soul is saying that with this behavior you cannot intend to have a stable connection or a peace of mind in long term. How could you even rely on a person who is not stable in a relationship, is running after the person? But somehow initially the DMs found them very attractive, right? The wealth, beauty, and the outer materialistic. They are the DMs are very spendthrift, and if they see someone spending money very lavishly on something or some on to them, then they get exactly very much impressed. And that was one of the weak spots of the DMs, which the karmics have identified, that they can impress the DMs with the money, right? So once they have understood the money, then the karmic is using all their efforts here and there to show that they got lots of money, they got lots of wealth, and the DMs can enjoy if they happen to stay with them. So, and the DMs are lured into it, and they feel that yes, so everything is mine. But it's not like that. The karmics are just there to kick your ass. Those money and those attraction are only fake. They'll not be showering on them. You are just like body to them. You are just like what you call an object to fulfill their short term, satisfaction. Once they, happen to, have you, they will kick your ass then and there, So there's no point on the part of the DMs that they are comparing the karmics with the DFs. It's not at all, even like you can't compare the apple with the oranges, but that's what the foolish DMs do. They keep on comparing the DFs with the karmics. Which one is better? Which one should I take? Which one should I be serious about? That the game is very simple, right? The things are very crystal clear. DFs are the genuine ones. The DMs are the karmics are the fake ones. Still, the DMs find it very difficult and puzzled to take a decision in their life. Why? Because somewhere we had just recently posted in our YouTube shorts also that there is a psychological reason behind why the DMs find it very comfortable dealing with the karmics and not with the DFs. Why? Because the DFs are pushing them forward to see the real side. DFs are pushing them to come out of the comfort zone and evolve themselves as a person, as a soul, and leave aside their bad habits, which they find it very difficult, and which they rather don't want to do it. They don't want to have the transformation within themselves in their soul purification journey. And if you see the karmics never demand of such high stuff. They are happy-go-lucky with whatever way you do, you present. You disrespect them, you play mind games with them, you do whatever with them. The karmics somehow are in control of the divine masculine's tactics, but the DFs are never in the control of the DMs. And DMs are very much control freak. We have already told in the past videos. They're very control freak. They want to control smallest of the smallest thing and the hard, biggest of the biggest things that's going in their life or in relationships. And when they see that among the DF and the DM, they are not able to control or play with the, DF so easily, or it's almost next to impossible. But when you see with the karmics, they are able to do it. And the karmics are accepting all their immature behavior, all their, bullshits, everything, and still completing very little, But the DFs, they fear to even play such mind games because the DFs are there to catch and, shake their soul at that point of time itself. Now, the, tragedy is that if you see the awakened DFs might be seeming very challenging and a very tough one or a daunting one to the DMs, but it is also the fact that the DFs are challenging and daunting only at the beginning. Later on, when you go into the relationship, DFs will be there to shower their ocean of love onto you and the, unmatched, care and pamper and everything, On the other way around, the karmics will be showing you lots of love, affection, and the money show off and everything that they do just to lure you into the relationship. Once you are into the relationship and they got whatever they wanted from you, they will slap you hard on your face and they'll kick on your ass. And then you'll realize that the kind of decision that you have made in your life, you neither got the, true connection from the karmics and you lost your divine feminine also in this bargain. Right, so that is what happens to the divine masculines who discard their DFs and run towards the karmics. Right, that is their destiny. That is the future that will happen. It's bound to happen. Universe will ensure that they learn these lessons very hard way. So this is the point of I think introspection for the divine masculines collectively also to understand that nothing has gone so bad at this point of time. In this tent and portal, the true faces of the karmics or whatever has been disclosed to the divine masculines is fair enough and sufficient enough for them to take a call on what they want in their life, whether they want to have the divine feminines or they want to continue the karmics, right? And mind you, if your divine masculines wants to continue the karmics, let them die alone with the karmics. Do not interfere, because once the divine feminine's energy or the shakti interferes in their life, the karmic lessons won't be easy to provide to the DMs. It will be impossible. And for a connection to establish between the DFs and the DMs, there has to have a hard hit karmic lessons that the DMs have to undergo. That's how they will understand that's this journey. That's how they'll get serious about the DF, and that's how they will learn their lessons, right? So the DFs has to step back and pull away their energy, right? Every time. That's the reason why we also advise all the DFs to do it like that. Okay. So now that the DM are seeing the true colors of the karmics, and they're realizing that it's the fake connection which they somehow could not see earlier, now they regretted why it took them so long to see the drama, the fakeness of the karmics, and because of the regret and everything, which the kind of emotions with the divine masculines or the DMs always have, is or they preserve, all these emotions of regret, guilt, remorse, depression, this hanging around in the lives of the DMs always. So there is a lot of mood swings, there's a lot of overthinking going on with the DMs, and they are feeling very much frustrated all the time. They are not able to concentrate on anything, and they are always, trying to have the still confused among whom to choose between the karmics or the DMs. Karmics or the DMs, right? DFs, right? The DMs are always confused. Even at this point of time, they are completely confused. Where should they go? Which one should they choose? It's being a very tough decision on their mind, and they've been dealing with lots of mood swings and overthinking right point around this 1010 portal, right? But this also brings into a stark realization to all of us, that which means that the divine masculines are still not able to listen to their soul. Okay, they are still not able to listen to what their inner soul is exactly guiding them to do. They are not taking the guidance at all, else they would have understand where even the DMs, even if they have not expressed, they have suppressed the deepest kind of love for the DFs. It's just that they have not they have always ran away from acknowledging within themselves also that yes, they do love the DFs. And because of their own this habit of not acknowledging even within themselves, the kind of the calling, soul calling, it has always been knocking on their heart, in their each and every cells in their body, that DF is a real connection, not the karmics. DF is a real connection, not the karmic. Those were the false twins. Those were fake person. Those are just a karmic relation. Step away from this connection. But no, they are still trying to figure out, what if I choose the karmics only? What if I don't do the DF thing? Although whatever they have executed, realized and done in the recent past, they have decided to part ways with the karmics, right? But still, even after those decisions, they are still comparing. Karmics are very easy to manipulate. Karmics won't be so much tough to deal with, but the DFs find very daunting. I'll tell you a secret: the DMs are always scared of the energy of the DFs, the awakened DFs, right? It scares them until and unless they also to get to awaken to their own self, I suppose. The DMs are really scared. Although the DFs are such a lovable person, there's nothing to scare about. I think their own cheating and their own kind of mind games and their own dishonest intentions makes them so much afraid of the energy of the DFs, which exactly is not even required for them to be afraid. These DMs have been putting all their hard efforts to maintain the relationship with the karmics, till now. But they have never put even, a little bit of effort, a genuine effort, to maintain a connection with the DFs, as they have been, putting all their, head and soul with the karmics. That is the, disbalance we can see. And regarding even the love, the DF understood the love connection, the soul connection much before, while they started dealing with their DMs. But it is the DMs which they understood that yes, they love this person, and they actually started feeling the love for the DF once a kind of a separation phase came between the DF and the DM. But even in those separation phase, in the past, the DMs have been denying their emotions and suppressing their emotions. They do not allow the emotions to come to the surface, and that's the reason why they are not doing a justice to themselves. Forget it about doing a justice to the DFs. They are not even doing a better justice to themselves. Why? Because they are running away from their own emotions. They are denying it. They are discarding that. How can I have even such emotions for someone? Why this connection looks so intense? I already have a karmics in my life whom they consider as a twin flame or a false twin whatsoever, but they feel that that connection was a pretty good one, but not so intense. But this connection is literally shaking me up from within, from it's a deep soul calling, and it really scares the divine masculine somehow, and they suppress their emotions. No, this should not happen, or they foresee that there are some challenges between the DFs and the DM in future. Might be they are culturally very different, there might be age gaps, there might be difference in the location, religion, family status or something like that, where their family will not approve of marriage in future, and already the DMs are a mama's boy or a mama's girl, so they don't want to hurt their mama. Also, they don't have the guts, the balls to go against the family. So why should I thrive on pampering those emotions which I am feeling for the DFs? Why not suppress it? Suppress the better. But that's not how things work. The soul won't let you be in peace if you try to suppress the emotions of what you are developing within for the DFs. Somewhere now they are done with the karmics for sure. It has been a greater soul calling for them around the 1010 portal, and they have realized that the kind of respect, the kind of loyalty, the kind of dedication, the kind of unconditional love, the kind of spiritual support, the kind of the divine protection that they receive, the home-like feeling that they receive from the divine feminines, can never be provided with the karmics. With the karmics, you can have, yes, all those money, luxury, all those things, that also for a short term before you get kicked back in your ass, by the karmics, and they'll just throw you like a dustbin. So the kind of respect, loyalty, dedication, whatsoever they aspire to have in a relationship is with the DFs and not with the karmics. But even after realizing this, it is up to them or what they will choose down the line. Also realizing the kind of mistakes they have done again and again in this connection with the DFs, wherein the DFs have gave them many chances to correct their behavior, but there is a certain kind of a pattern which they'll keep on repeating. Like suppose DFs are very eager on responding to the messages, or they like fast responses. I'm just giving an example. And the DMs always have this strategic time of how much time they'll take to respond to a message to each person in their life, according to the priority or according to the mind games that they play. And they somehow know that the DFs don't appreciate such behavior, but every time the DFs have allowed them to come into their life, what they did is that they again repeat the same mistake. They will still send respond to the message very late. They won't control their behavior at all. They won't make a change in their behavior, although it hurts the DF, although it is a disrespect to a person who is providing with the time and the attention and looking forward to you for a better response, even as a person to person. But the DMs are not able to control their bad habits, right? And even the DFs get pissed off at some point of time. The DFs might be a spiritual and a kind soul, but if you keep on mistreating someone, literally it's bound to happen that even the DFs get pissed off with such behaviors. So eventually the DMs now see that the DFs have become very strong. They have come a long way, and now they see themselves now the DFs are in a collective or in an impress energy. They are shining. They are thriving good, and they are become more practical, and they have stable emotions, and even the DFs are not giving too much attention to the DMs or what's happening in their life, and that makes them even wonder that how could these DFs live such a balanced life without them. How could they not come back and start crying in front of them the way the DFs used to do in the past. So that is also a kind of surprising thing for them, that they felt that the DFs are also the kind of a puppet in their hands, the same way, the other people who came in their life or in this, kind of a relationship was the puppet in there. Literally, the DMs could control all the actions of the other people and still get away with it. They have some monkey tricks that they played on these people, but that monkey tricks is not working on the DFs. And why is it that, the DFs can live such a balanced life without them, that really astonishes the DMs collective, right? The reason is, babes, that the universe is always there to handhold the DFs. Universe is always there to support the DFs. Although it breaks the DF with such behaviors or your, any kind of a thing, it does affect. DFs are very much sensitive people, but The universe is there to handhold and guide the DFs, to provide them with the emotional strength and the mental strength to deal with such situations, right? And moreover, the DFs are genuine and they are not comparing their divine masculines with anyone else, although they might have better options, but they won't compare the DMs with the other people. But other way around, if you see, the DMs are always comparing the DF with, should I choose the DF or the karmics, DF or the karmics has the money and everything, there's no challenge in the marriage. But the DFs, there will be a lot of challenge. There is problems with the age, there's problem with the family status, there's problem with the culture, there's problem with the many different things. So why should I not take the easy route, and why should I take the toughest route? You got to take the toughest route because that's a soul calling, that's a soul contract, that's why you were born on earth. You can't be discarding your own soul, which you have done in many past lives already, and still continue the same pattern this life also. You are just wasting your entire soul journey by doing this. After hearing the entire channeling, the some of the DMs, you know if happen to watch this video, they might be thinking that if the DF loves them so much, even the words can't describe, the love of the DF is exactly, larger than the universe and deeper than the ocean, which when once they come in, the actual, speaking terms and start to express, they'll eventually realize that nobody can ever love the DMs the way the DFs love them, It's so pure and so, deep, so genuine, so intense, that such love you won't be receiving from anyone else in your life. Even if you hunt every corner and nook of this planet, you will not find. But even after having such a deep love in their life for the DMs, why don't the DFs contact the DM and come back in their life easily? The DMs might be thinking this as a question. So we'll try to answer this also, supposedly thinking that some of the DMs might be hearing this. Is this because the DFs are awakened? They have gone through a lot before coming to this realization that for the DMs to heal, for the DMs to upgrade, they need to learn their lessons. And who are the best teachers to the DMs other than the karmics? The karmic cycle will finish only in the absence of the DF. So the DFs is not interfering with them, And if the DFs interfere, the DMs will again, what they will do, they'll repeat the same old pattern and run back to the karmics or run back to the other options in their life, comparing them with the the DF. That's what they do. You always see that every time the conversations or whatever in between the separation phase, the talking happens, is always been controlled by the DMs. If the DFs try to initiate the conversation, the DMs will always repeat their old bad habit pattern, and the things don't go in harmony in that situation, right? For the Fs to have a actual peaceful connection or a justice to this connection, they need to see that the DMs are coming back to them and not otherwise, right? So I understand that how much challenging it can be for anyone, for the DF especially, to love someone so deeply and yet when things aren't going easy for you, it's a tough situation everywhere. The DMs are thinking the karmics as their twin, and they're running after their twin and everything, but still you too, the DFs would too might be done waiting for the DMs to evolve and they to get matured or serious about this connection, but it's not happening. But you have to remember, DFs, that universe works in very much mysterious ways. Universe has its own divine timings. Universe takes time for your manifestations to realize also, right? And you have to trust the process, have the patience, and everything will happen in its own time. Patience is not only just about waiting, it's about trusting the divinity, trusting the universe also, letting universe take control of the situation. And when you give your DM the space and the classroom for them to get their life lessons, their karmic lessons, or them to understand your value, your worth in your life, then you are stepping forward towards a bigger healing and a reconciliation for a mutual bond between both of you, right? while it's very important that you fight for your love, it is also parallelly of utmost importance that you need to learn the DFs, that when you should let go of the connection and when you should give space for the soul growth of the DMs, and not hinder their karmic lessons by stepping inside or contacting them or giving them their energy. You step back, leave them isolated, and let them themselves realize. They themselves realizing is a natural way of prospering this connection. But if you keep on interfering with their energy, their karmic lessons will get delayed, overall the union will get delayed, right? So sometimes these separations are better. It is indeed a pathway or a mechanism for a deeper transformation of the soul of the DMs collective, right? So on a better note, on a positive note, the DMs now seek that they want a new beginning with the DFs. But for this to happen, they also understand parallelly that they got to transform themselves at the soul level, at the come out of their comfort zone, discard their old habits, all their freakness, control freak, their lies, their manipulative tactics, flirting around with multiple people, all those things, searching on the internet for some options, or casual datings or whatever the DMs are doing. They have to let go of those bad habits and come forward as a ideal partner in front of the DFs, so that the DFs can accept them, right? So for the DMs also, if they are listening, I'll tell you that you have to let go of the fear that you have, that if you approach the DF, then you might have to face their rude behavior or their harshness, something like that. But because they see the DFs are now in the Empress energy or in the High Priestess energy, many of the DFs, so they fear of approaching the DFs. But it is like that you have to evolve yourself to become so much worthy that you start deserving the love of the DFs. The DFs won't be harsh on you. The DFs won't be cruel on you, because they see yourself and they realize long before your realization that you are the soul extension or the soul split of the DFs themselves. So they are there to give you love. They are there to care you. They are there to protect you against the karmics and against all situations in life. So you just need to have your good intentions and mostly evolve yourself from within, and then only you can the universe will allow for the union between the DFs and the DMs, because without the DMs in your life, you will not be able to bring the fortune in your life, all the health, wealth, peace of mind, everything, it will be very badly hampered if the DFs are not in your life, right? So having said this, and sharing this channeling somewhere around the 1010 portal right now, I hope it was quite an enriching and informative one to the DFs collective and the DMs collective who are hearing this channeling. If you are unaware about what kind of energy you are into, what's your dominant energy, then do take a personal session with me. I'll assure you after post that you won't be having any kind of confusion in your mind, because mostly if you are in the masculine dominant energy, most likely you are dealing with the karmics, you are dealing with the false twins, and still crying after them, wasting their energy doing all the inner work or whatsoever, thinking that it's a real connection, and it is of no use. Maybe the real twin flame has not even entered your life, as a recent case we have seen of one of the person, the girl, and maybe the real twin flame has not even entered your life, is scheduled for a future date, or the real person has entered your life but you are not able to see the person, you are ignoring the person, right? So better get knowledge of your divine guidance and what your dominant energy is. If you're interested in any kind of a meditation and healing work to evolve, come into high vibration in this journey, then in the description box you'll find all the details. Do contact us for any kind of Shiv sadhana, Shakti sadhana, or energy reading. And yeah, do take better care of yourself, and good night, enjoy, bye bye, take care, God bless.